Hello everyone, my name is Lexicona, and today I will be teaching you all how to go about reading the Strike Spark mechanic in Eden's Verse Furor Savage. Keep in mind this video will feature minor spoilers from the Eden Raid tier and Shadowbringers, and any clips I use will be from my Week 3 re-clear of the fight. So, starting in, you'll see that I have a diagram here, and this diagram will show essentially how Strike Spark is laid out from the beginning. You'll notice that there's a party in the center, and we can assume that the boss is there. And aside from that, the rest of the party will be there as well. All the orbs get placed out, and you have to figure out where the safe spot is among the four Ifrits that will be kicking things. There will always be four bosses kicking things, and I will stress that multiple times because there are two possibilities for patterns. I have seen many statements of misinformation when it comes to this mechanic. I don't blame people. It's week 3/4, and it's gonna be people are gonna be confused. It's understandable that people are getting the mechanic wrong. That aside, I would like to help people understand it further, since I feel that I have a very good understanding of the mechanic thus far. So, getting straight into it. As I mentioned, there are four bosses that will always spawn, whether it be Ifrit or Raktapaksa in the second phase. Tackling the first misinformation that I have heard people say is always look at the Ifrit that's looking at another Ifrit. This is inherently false, because there are two different possibilities as to what can be occurring. Oh. Ignore that, I guess. There are two different possibilities that can occur. There is the triangle or unfinished square possibility, where there will be three clumped up and one looking away. All of these have to be looking at each other for it to be this possibility. Keep that in mind, and I will touch on that later. Or the other possibility is the line possibility, the two Ifrits with two looking away. Now, let's tackle this one first. This one is the instance where people say, always look at the Ifrit that's looking at another Ifrit. In the two case, that is always correct. That is because there are only two Ifrits in which this is going to be the case. When this is the case, when there are two Ifrits, the safe spot will always be a corner. Northwest, northeast, southeast, southwest. Because the one that's in the center on a cardinal, that one will always be kicking in. That is the one at the end of the chain on the cardinal. So if it's two, and you have two looking away like this, reminder, these two can be anywhere on the field, so you have to keep that in mind. If they're looking at each other, one's looking in, one is looking towards the other, safe spot is here. Because this spot will be open, there is no orb being kicked towards that spot. So you can go there, avoid the vuln. However, in the other case, this is a possibility. And people say, in this case as well, always look for the rightmost or leftmost Ifrit. But that's, inherently misleading. It's a red herring, more or less, because it teaches people that it's always going to be going one direction, when it is not always going to be one direction. It could be this, it could be mirrored, it could be on the other side, upside down, who knows? This mechanic requires a ton of adaptability, and a lot of trust in the person making callouts, if anybody making callouts. That being said, you won't die if you get hit by one, but you do want to avoid vulnerability debuffs if possible to give your healers more DPS uptime. So in this case, the direction they'll be going is up. Oh, I'm drawing on the wrong one. Whoops. Direction they will be going is that way. So north is the safe spot because there is no orb going that direction. Now, using some freeform jazz. No, let's make our own situation first. Let's say we have the line, so two Ifrits are applicable, the other are looking up. Say we have an Ifrit here, no. Ifrit here, Ifrit here, Ifrit here, and Ifrit here. So in this case, you have to look at where they're looking. You have to adapt to what they're doing. And you know that because that one's going to be looking that way, That one's going to be looking that way, and it's very easy to see this one down here and to think it's going to look this way, when in reality, it's looking that way. That isn't always the case, but it is a possibility. I have seen it, so you need to be able to read this and to understand it. In this case, because this one is the last one that is actually kicking an orb, the safe spot will be southeast. Now, let's use another example. So in this case, this is also another tricky one. That orb's getting kicked there, that orb's getting kicked there, that orb's getting kicked there, and this one is outward. So you need to be able to differentiate and see that these two are kicking the right direction, that is, and this one is not. And so, not kicking its orb, and so you know that the safe spot will be north. This can occur on any cardinal / intercardinal in the fight, so you need to be able to adapt and recognize. If you are with a static, I would recommend having one person who understands it designated to making the callouts. In my static, or my previous static, that was me. I was the person who made the callouts, and once I fully understood the mechanic, as flips, we did not get hit unless people greeted or did not listen. So, with that being said, I will do away with the diagram and we can go watch a couple clips and I will analyze them for you. As I said before, these clips are from my weekly re-clear this week. And yeah, that's them.
What's up? Devotion.
It'll be south.
Let's examine this clip that we just watched. Let's take a look at it a little bit more closely. I'm going to be pausing the clip as we go through it again to see what is happening and to point out how I'm going about the process.
What's up? Devotion.
At this point, when the efforts come down, I'm already looking around, already trying to pay attention to what I need to look at. As an Astro, I have to hold sleeve draw and everything, and I'm balancing all of that over this, so it's pretty complicated. But as I'm looking around, I can notice that there is an effort to our west, there is an effort to south, and that there are two more efforts, southwest and southeast. And looking at the direction in which they are facing, I can find out that the safe spot is, in fact, south.
It'll be south. It is going to be west.
Then tank things.
Just like before, I'm going to do the same thing with the second clip. So here we go. We will jump right into the analysis. Let me play the clip again, and we will stop when the Raktapaksas spawn. So right off the bat, it's immediately very clear for me to tell where we need to go. Looking at it, we have our Raktapaksas in these positions, as denoted by the arrows on the screen. And let me explain my thought process here. So we have one southeast, west, northeast, or northwest, and north. Now, explaining what is happening here and why I was able to know so quickly, west is facing northwest, which is a very clear tell that it is a triangle, because a cardinal will not be facing an intercardinal unless it is a triangle. So that way you know west is where we need to go, north is facing inward, northwest is facing north. So west is the place that we need to go, and it is very simple.
It is going to be west.
Then tank things.
Well, that is all for me. I have explained what I wanted to explain, and hopefully the people watching this have come out with some information as well. If anybody has any comments, questions, or concerns, you can definitely leave a comment to let me know. And maybe I could be wrong about one thing or another, and if you guys have a better understanding, please let me know. I'd love for that information to go around. Otherwise, thank you all for watching, and have a wonderful day.